What's going on, y'all? Off the chain. What is going on, everybody? We live now, Eric, and I'm not fooling with you tonight. I'm not fooling with you tonight. Dang, I forgot to turn the damn TV on, y'all. We've been out here drinking, eating, enjoying ourselves for the first anniversary, and I forgot to turn the TV on and turn it to YouTube. Thank you. Pretty Ricky is on it. What is going on out there? Hey, Brenda, how are you, darling? Welcome to Red Wine Conversations, y'all. I'm so excited. I can't believe it's been a year. Cannot believe it. I cannot believe it at all. Because, like, it took people pushing me off the ledge to get it done. But I felt like I kept getting put on this path to do this show. Like, I was a guest on other people's shows so many times. And every time I was a guest on somebody else's show, I would get, you need your own show. You need to do your own show. You need your own show. And so I was like, I don't know about that. And then finally, Joy and Richard pushed me off the ledge, which they were my very first guests on the very first episode of Red Wine Conversations. They pushed me off the ledge. And hey, here we are a year later. Like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I wanted to invite, hey, everybody checking in. Michelle checking in from the patio saying congratulations. Hey, Kim, thank you. Listen, we are having a wonderful time out here. Okay, you go to the search, the little thing. It should, it should, and then over. Yeah, there we go. Nope, not the angry anniversary show. We live now. There we go.
Live and direct.
Yes, now we go. There we go. We all on it. Yes, it's a back there in the background waving. I know the traffic stopped so many people. The traffic is horrible out here tonight. So it stopped so many people from getting here, but that's okay. Like, I'm happy with the people that are here to celebrate my first anniversary, and also the beautiful Sand for joining us this evening. And we are definitely going to talk about her book. And if y'all see her wonderful book sitting here, I made sure it was front and center for everybody to see. And actually the website, I posted in the details. So if anybody is interested in knowing about the book and also going out there to get a copy of the book, you're more than welcome to do so. The website is, yes, please do. Website is in the details. Can y'all hear everybody okay? Y'all let me know. I did kind of test them. Do what? Did we what? Test the mic? Yeah. I kind of sort of did. Oh. I've been, listen, when I say I've been all over the place tonight, all over the freaking place tonight, trying to get ready. Thank you, Michelle. She posted up the website, y'all. Awesome. Thank you, Brenda. Yes, you can hear us all well. Good. Is that Eric on here? Yes, Melissa. Unfortunately, Eric is here tonight. I did allow Eric to come on. I mean, I couldn't have an anniversary show without the Southside Boys. I mean, because Eric has been on here quite a few times, and I definitely couldn't do it without Pam, because Pam helped me launch. I mean, how many times did you even come on the show, Pam?
About three.
And I appreciate every time you came on and represented it. I've always, I had so much fun with Pam. Even though we got on the couch that one time.
We should have had on the couch with KO.
See, cause Pam had me going deep into stuff. It was supposed to be what was the show?
Questions that men.
Why men do what they do. Yes, why men do what they do. Hey, that's my sister. Hey, Alicia. Everybody is checking in tonight. Thank y'all so much for checking in at Red Wine Conversations. Listen, we are going to have a great show. Now, of course, I don't have a topic other than for us to talk about Sam's book tonight. However, if you have read the book, we're going to see this book may take us a lot of places. So we're going to see, once we get to talking about this book, where it takes us. But y'all, let me say this though. Wait till y'all see the pictures from the photo shoot. When I say Pretty Ricky understood his assignment, we look like a couple, but that's okay. We are a couple. We are a couple. We a couple. That's all right. We're supposed to like each other. At least I like him sometimes. I don't know. One part, no, because we were doing the shoot. It was so funny because the one where I was sitting in the egg chair and he was in this chair. And so I got to thinking about something. My mind went elsewhere. And the photographer, Camellia, said, okay. She said, what's going on? Because you looking at him. What she say? Like, this nigga here or something like that. She said, you looking like this nigga here. And I was like,
all the time.
And I was like, no.
You looked at me like, I ought to just punch him right in the throat.
I didn't. I was thinking about things that I needed to do and I needed to take care of. And you don't be thinking about how you be looking when your mind just go elsewhere and you thinking about different stuff. And so that's what happened. It wasn't. I wouldn't do you like that.
But you'll do me like that, though.
Of course, because you don't know how to act.
I mean, I knew you was gonna do it.
Because you don't know how to act. That's the whole. And I hate see the TV didn't get turned on over there for Lakeysha. She all over there. You got your phone up watching? No, because I ain't even got YouTube loaded on it. I forgot I didn't even load it on there this morning after I had my brother come out here and set it up. You about to load YouTube on it? Oh, you pulling up on your phone. Okay. But y'all, as you can see, we got a few folks on the patio. We were supposed to be packed, but the traffic stopped people from getting here. But that's okay. That's all right. Brenda said that's how family act. Why did that one kick out?
I guess it just said it.
We do act like family. You cuss each other out and you say you love you and just move on to the next episode. And keep it moving.
There you go.
Right. And just like the book says, we keep it moving. Keep it moving. That's how family does. But I want to get into this book because I reread the book yesterday.
Okay. Do you love that it's a quick, easy read? I've been getting good feedback.
It is a quick, easy read. It definitely is.
I'm nervous about that.
Why?
You know, a new author, you're thinking, oh, it's got to be all long and thick, and then my soul just said, girl, don't worry about that, just write, just hey,
put what you felt down on paper, and
like, let it be what it is.
And as I was reading it, I could hear you saying it. Awesome. Like it's written in your voice.
That was important to me.
Yes, it was definitely written in your voice. Thank you, Tara. Welcome. Thank you. But yeah, why you saying Tara gonna get on you later. We try. You see, Eric just. Can you let Sam be? Can you let her be great right now? Stay over there and behave. See, that's the reason why I was iffy about letting you on camera, because I knew you was gonna act up.
He gonna keep us laughing all night.
That's all they do. That is. Listen, Eric is good for a great laugh. He's gonna have us over here rolling because he gonna say shit that you wouldn't expect. No, how do you put it? He says
what everybody else is thinking.
He says,
there you go.
Yes. Eric says what everybody else can't say. Yeah. They may be thinking it, but they can't.
Yeah.
So it's his job to come on here and say what the men can't say.
There it is.
I have to filter him sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, I was too.
Right, I have to filter him
Let Rick get
sometimes.
some of that Quavo in him and see where that filter go.
Don't be trying to throw Pretty Ricky under the
I'm
bus.
throwing him under the
You know
bus.
what? Let me bring the rest of the people up on the camera back here in the
hold on,
back. We got
South Side
Lakeysha
boys.
in
I
there.
want to know what the South Side boys is all about. Are y'all from the South Side?
Yeah,
Nashville?
we played ball together.
Okay, that's dope. I graduated from Glen.
Yeah, but we left though.
Yeah,
We left early.
Y'all left early.
Yeah, we was there when we was like 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
He said you left early.
Yeah.
Did you graduate?
No,
Or did
we
you...
moved.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, you moved
Yeah,
to another side of town.
Yeah, we
Okay,
moved.
now Lakeysha, you got your own camera though. Hey, slow motion, how are you, darling? Yeah, I am so glad y'all in the building. You and Sensational. Welcome to my anniversary show. Yes, you on your own camera over there. Because these two over here hiding. They hiding over here behind us on the camera.
Miss whatever don't want to get on there.
Yes. What?
I ain't heard nothing he said. What is that?
Miss
See,
whatever don't
I
want to
think
get
Miss
on there.
Whatever done got.
Yeah.
Hey, dang! Everybody is on here. Miss Whatever seems like she done had a little much to drink already. Hey Remy, welcome. Everybody is checking in and wishing me a happy anniversary. You know, let me start popping some of these up. Thank you, Remy. Yes, I appreciate y'all showing up. But listen, we are not going to allow Eric to distract us, and we're going to get back to the book. But I did love the fact that it was a short read, and you got to the point. But tell us about what made you decide to write the book and how you got here in your process. Because actually, I am kind of thinking about it. Everybody keep telling me I need to write a book.
Yeah.
I'm considering it on my, true self-reflection thing. So I'm considering writing a book. But
Me too. I got a story.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got a story.
If you got it in you, do it. Nothing like it, because you go on a journey the whole time you're writing,
Mhm.
and then you go on a whole nother journey through the publishing process as well.
Okay.
So, with me writing this one, like telling my personal story, there was a lot you got to work through before you do that. You got to be brave, like, hey, everybody's not going to like it.
Yes, because you put yourself out
You're
there.
putting yourself out there.
Mhm.
So, that's a whole process within itself. But just, I feel like I'm the type of person that just kind of beat the odds in life,
Mhm.
per se. I was a teenage mom. Started my own business at 19 years old, my first business. Been through a divorce, have raised 3 children on and off by myself as a single mom. Just came from a inner city neighborhood. Like, I didn't have money behind me. I didn't have the opportunity to go to big schools
A lot of us,
and all
yeah.
of that, so I just felt like I needed to share my story just so it could influence whoever can relate to it. I feel like that's so important within just sharing sharing who you are with people. You never know.
Yes.
You never know who's going to learn from you and who can grow from just what you've been through.
Absolutely.
And then it just passes on.
Absolutely. And that's what this show is about. I always I feel like I can't come over here and ask you to self-reflect about something that I'm not willing to self-reflect about on my own.
Absolutely.
And so you're right in that. You can't ask people to do things you're not willing to do yourself.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, okay, so let's start in the beginning, because I like the way you moved through and talked about your childhood and the 2 separate examples that you had of a male role model, because that's kind of something we talked about on the Modern Male show. You kind of touched on some of those things about how times are changing and those traditional roles are not always there anymore. And so just kind of touch on that a little bit, because I like the way you defined how you saw those 2 male role models separately.
I think I was able to define it once I realized how it affected me as a person, as a child. I had my dad who was in and out, not very consistent at all. But then I had a grandfather that was very strict, disciplined military background. So it was kind of like two completely different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up and when I say managing that, I mean, these are the examples of the men that I have in my life. So I tended to, all the guys that I like had a little bit of both of them in them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a pattern, like a
you
cycle.
look for what you know.
It's natural. It just kind of happens. And then navigating through those relationships, some good, some bad, some failed, some horrible, toxic. And realizing once I found me, what those examples were, what I could take from it, what I had to leave behind to push forward to keep building me, So it can be challenging, and you make a lot of mistakes within that,
You're right. And one of there's Carolyn. She was supposed to be in here tonight. Hey, Carolyn, sorry I'm not there. I'm sorry you're not here too. We miss you. I can relate because I kind of had a similar upbringing where, the father really wasn't that strong of a presence in my life, but I looked to my grandfather as that positive male role model. And one of the things that we talked about in the Modern Male show, and even I just had this conversation with my brother too, is that when you grow up in dysfunction, you don't recognize when you're living in it because it's normal to you.
Yeah,
Right.
And until you take a step back and reflect on it and realize, okay, just because this is what I'm used to and I've seen all my life doesn't mean that it's right. Yeah. And it's up to you to change it.
Yep.
And that one of the things I used to say was, kids that grow up, they either going to repeat the cycle or they're going to go the total opposite.
Yep.
And so I can see, like, between me and my siblings, some of the things where I was like, I do not want to repeat this. They repeated because that's what we saw.
Yeah.
It was normal. That dysfunction was what defined our family dynamic.
Yep.
And that's what we were used to. And so therefore we didn't recognize that it wasn't correct or right.
Healthy person.
Healthy. Healthy is a good word. That it wasn't healthy until later in life. And you go, and I just said, a matter of fact, just said it to my brother, like, just because mama did it don't mean it was right. Just because that's the way we were raised doesn't mean that's the way we should raise our kids, and we don't think about that because that's what we're used to. And when you get used to that dysfunction, it's normal to you. And when somebody else try to tell you something different, you be like, what you talking about? We've been doing this forever.
Right.
But you know what, Carrie, what I learned too is that common sense comes into play as you get older.
Common sense ain't always so common.
No, what I'm saying, no, but what I'm saying is,
I find myself saying that quite a bit.
But I mean, like, when you use your common sense, it makes you see all the stuff around you is like a bunch of BS. You see what I'm saying? Because if you use stupid,
but it comes to you having that realization that this is really dysfunctional and not what I should be doing. And sometimes, if that's what you've done all your life and that's what you used to, you don't think about it.
We actually passed down a generational tradition, and because grandmama did it, because mama did it,
Yes,
because daddy did it.
yes.
So because it was the tradition in that generation, then we do it. Then we pass it down to our children, and it goes back to what you were saying. At some point, we either gonna follow that or go a different direction, and that's like prime example, discipline. When our grandparents was disciplined, or when they was disciplined, our parents, it was always with a switch or with a.
It's definitely different than it is nowadays.
It was always a very hard discipline. And they learned that from their forefathers and their mothers. But as the generations go on, some of us decided to take a whole total different direction and not do it that way.
Yes.
So we are breaking some of those generational traditions. Some of them we should keep.
Yeah, that's definitely some things we should keep.
Yeah.
That's some things we really should keep, because this generation now is so out of control.
Ooh, they have no direction.
So out of control.
They are fearless with no direction.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Ever
And
I
say they out here like zombies, because they numb. They very apathetic and they numb.
And it doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't care.
I blame the parents though, because the parents just stop that in the home. I'm serious.
But again, like we were just saying, it's a generational thing. These parents don't know, because if you think now, the age of motherhood is getting younger and younger, and you got babies raising babies. And if that baby was raised in dysfunction, and then they're gonna raise their babies in dysfunction, and we just gonna repeat the cycle. Because if you think about it, they're growing up together. They're growing up together. Hey, Tara. Yes, Brenda said it was her mother that was that way with her. Yeah, and honestly, if I being honest and I take a step back, it was my grandmama, my mama, but I was different in that I looked at it and was like, that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to be. I'm not going to follow that path. And then it even got to the point where, because I won't say I was rebellious, but I was against that, what they wanted me to do. Like, no, this is not right. I'm not going to do that. And it caused tension between me and my grandmother, because one of the things that they like to do, and my family, we still do it. My mother and my grandmama both were all about buying affection. When I tell you, we lived in the projects on welfare, but we had everything. Everything. I can't think of anything that we didn't have. And so to them, if they gave, and as long as you were dependent on them to give, then that was their way to control you. Because you need me. And so therefore, I'm going to give to you, and I'm going to keep giving to you, because that keeps you coming back. And now I can control you and tell you what to do. Where I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't need your money. I got my own money. I can buy it. No, I don't want that help. I can, because the help you often ain't coming the right way anyway. So I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna do it by myself. And so that was seen negatively by them, because I was going against the grain. And I thought I was better than everybody else, because I didn't want to do it the way they wanted it done. So
this is why I love hearing stories like this and hearing from people. This is why I love this.
Yeah, that's what red wine conversation is about, because you don't really think about it until you really open your mind up to somebody else's perspective, and you hear that different perspective on it. Hey,
something about
where did y'all come in? Oh, I didn't even see
it. Was zipped up, girl. I didn't want to.
Oh, okay. You came in through that door. It was open.
Somebody was sitting there. So
welcome. I was like, who is this? Come on and join. Listen, Daphne has the patio. Come on. Hey, Daphne.
Can we turn these around?
Yes, you can turn them around. Actually, there's a camera right there that's going to catch everybody. Have a drink. Grab you something to eat. Listen, we're just having a good time. Welcome. But anyway, we was in the middle of the conversation. I was like, who is this coming out the door?
Rick had something to say, though.
The discipline part. You know, they used to whoop with switches all the time.
Right.
And I don't allow my kids to get whooped with switches, because I fight everybody that tries it.
Really?
I don't care who it is.
I
Mama, grandma. No.
I was raised in the projects in Chicago. So
shit, I done got a switch whipping plenty of times. You better go out and
Go
pull
get
it.
it.
You better go get your
Yeah.
switch.
I mean,
And don't come back with no little bitty whipping one either.
That was more of a southern thing, because like in the Midwest,
Yes,
with me growing up in Chicago, we didn't do that. You know, they moved with the extension cords and the belts or whatever. But you know, you have to, because we live in the High Rise projects. How does that sound? Go all the way downstairs. Go get a switch.
Go get a switch.
Totally different
Go,
environment.
yes.
Yeah.
Brenda says she lived in the projects as well and wanted for nothing at the time. Yes, when I tell you, listen, one thing, and we're gonna get back to saying, but one thing, and I always say this, my mama always made sure we were provided for. and she kept a man. I cannot remember at any point in my childhood when my mama did not have a man. Now she get one, she keep him for years, but once she move on, and she always found y'all. And mama, I know she looking down, she like, this half for talking about me. I ain't talking about you because you took care of us, mama. She always found them ones that, like, literally, we wanted for nothing. Nothing. She would find them cake daddies. I don't know how she found them cake daddies, but nothing. We had everything living in the projects on welfare. Everything. But times have changed. But then at the same time, back then, we used to get our ass whooped. But something that my mama did do that I repeated with my kids is that in our house, nothing was taboo. Nothing was taboo. You wanted to drink? You want something to drink? Don't be going out here to these little parties and getting drink. You want some drink? You drink here at the house. And so it worked because I would be like, when people be like, oh, girl, they're going to have liquor. I wouldn't drink. Hell, I can drink at the house. Like, that don't impress me to go to no party.
I understand that I understand the thought process behind that.
Yeah, and I did it with my kids. Yeah. Like, you want to drink? Okay, you sit down. I'm gonna teach you how to drink and you know how to manage it and watch. Listen, the first time I had alcohol was with my family. Like, my uncles taught us girls how to drink because they said they don't have no nieces. Then some man like brown liquor. I can sit and drink me some brown liquor all day long because that's how they taught us. Yeah. Okay. The first time, there you go. The first time I smoked weed, and y'all, I'm sorry, I didn't inhale now. the first time I smoked weed was at the house with my uncles.
That's like that. My big brother was. He was like, "You gonna be smoking? You gonna smoke with me? Like, you ain't finna be out here smoking. You ain't finna be out,
right? You're not finna be out there like that, right? Right.
Did not play about that.
So there's some things that I did take from them. But then there's a lot of other things that I'm like, no, that's not what. But I can definitely see, going back to your example, especially that male role model, it played a part too when I, like, my husband and my grandfather, basically the same man. I think that's what attracted me to my husband, was that he reminded me of my grandfather. And him and my grandfather, before he passed, were like you would have thought that was his son. He loved him some Robert Owens, but he reminded me of my grandfather. And I can actually see in the choices that my kids have made and their mates. Like, one of them, the middle daughter, I tell her, girl, I told him, I thought you found your daddy. Like, that's your daddy. She was like, no, it's not. Okay. Okay, you found your daddy. That's what. So I can see those characteristics, and we look for those things, but I can see how it can also affect you in a relationship, because that wasn't necessarily probably the right role model, but it was the role model that we had.
And that's funny you say that. We were actually just talking about this in the car, and I was talking about my parents who are still together now almost 40 years. And I've never, ever seen them argue. Never. Not a single time. I only can remember one time that I knew my mom was maybe upset with Dad, but that was because she was out of town and she always talked to him. And she called and I said, you want to talk to Dad? She was like, no, I talked to him another time. I was like, oh, something ain't right. But that was it. And that jaded me in thinking that relationships are ideal. Like, you know, princess, you know, prince, charming story. Not knowing the reality of it.
I'm going to get you to the shift that way too. So you can get,
not knowing the reality of it is relationship take work. And you argue. And you don't get along.
So it how you feel when you have to communicate.
Let's see you on camera.
I totally get it.
It that is very true. What you see as a child growing up, you repeat. And then, like you said, if you never saw them argue, and then you get in a relationship with somebody, and then they want to, you're like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right.
And it's argument's valid, but I didn't know we don't ever not get along.
Now, okay, now Brenda made a comment that I have to agree with. She was like, at least we parents knew where our child was. Now, I have to agree with that. Now, I am number one safety mom. These people nowadays just let these kids do anything and go anywhere. I don't understand it. I was just like my baby girl that just left. When I tell you, I went to so many Millennium tours, the Bow Wow and B2K. We front row. I've been to every concert. Every time they came, we front row at the concert, and they looking at who is this damn woman? My child ain't going nowhere without me. Like, no. And I think it wasn't until she was probably 14, 15 before I allowed her to go to a concert by herself. And then she had to go. It had to be with somebody. Like you can't.
And you
like
talk to the parents.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, she just said,
Girl, some of these parents.
definitely got to talk to the
where
parents.
your mama at?
Listen, I was that type. And y'all, I know this is bad. This is real bad. But I'm a number one safety mom. I was that type. My kids did not spend the night away from home with anybody other than family. If you were not family, they were grown before they went and spent the night at somebody else's house. And then it had to be a friend that I knew the parents, like if we were cool.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, no, you can't go. They can come over here.
Yeah.
They come over here all day long and spend time. But no, I don't know. I don't know their mama. I don't know them people. No, I'm number one safety mom when it comes to that. But anyway, I'm always jumping all over the place. But back to saying in her book, I'm sorry, y'all know I like to talk. I get all off subject.
That was cool. You like run right on into the parents and
yes, because
kids and like the things that we have to do different that maybe our parents, didn't do so well. All of that.
But I loved in the book that you said how you dedicated though to your babies, and you made sure that you had that strong relationship with them. And that's important.
That's very important to me.
Because I will tell you, and me and my brother, we talked about this the other day too. My mama wasn't the type that showed love. Like, I knew she loved me, but she wasn't that affectionate type, that always, and every once in a while, like I'll hug, and sometimes I won't hug because that's not, I really wasn't raised to be a hugger. And so it wasn't that I didn't know she loved me. It was just, that wasn't how we did. And sometimes I regret like that I didn't hug my kids more. And like, I mean, it's not too late. I can still hug and tell them I love them. But growing up, I feel like that is an essential part of a child's upbringing to get that affection and to feel love.
I think it's from the mother though, because as a man, we'll hug you, but that ain't what we want. I mean, we don't do that. That ain't we hug you every time.
Yeah, but with the daughters,
we don't. I mean, I hug my daughters and all that, but I ain't got none. But if I did,
okay, wait a minute.
No, but I said if I did, because I got some nieces.
Melissa said, "Where can I purchase the book? I love to read." It's at the website is in the details for the show, Melissa, and then also Michelle just posted it again, saying the author. I always want to pronounce that T.
That's okay.
I always want to pronounce that T, and I have to catch myself.
I'm so used to that, y'all. It's people that I've known all my life. They know my name. They know my name without saying, and they just have to say that T.
I
do.
Yeah, I have to catch myself because I want to say it. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, every time, because I want to pronounce it phonically when I see it, and then say to sand,
and I tsunami, like the T tsunami. Like
I have to catch myself every time. Yes, Sherry. Our grandparents were not. Yeah, our grandparents were not.
They're gonna say the same.
Yeah. I always want to do that. But yes, please grab a copy of her book. But that is definitely something I love that you mentioned. In the book, that when you did leave, when your husband left, now did he leave you or you left him?
Well, it was mutual, but I probably started opting out first.
The women typically, and we had that conversation last week about women, and I had to be honest, and I said, like, even when I made my decision to leave, how he felt about it had no relevance on my decision to leave. I did not even have a discussion to say.
Yeah,
I know, because he's looking at me like, damn.
I'm waiting on him.
I'm sorry, but I didn't. I didn't.
Eric moment. I had
Now I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying that was the right thing to do. That definitely I feel like was not the right thing to do. But at the moment, it was about me. At the moment, it was about me, and I wasn't caring about anything else. Yeah.
I get it.
So go ahead, Pretty Ricky.
So why would see? I'm gonna turn this around. I get back to where I'm going. Why do women have an attitude when they say I look like I don't give a fuck about that?
Because women are emotional, and we want you to give a fuck.
Yeah, but hold on. But you didn't care nothing about his feelings when you said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
What part of? Wait a minute.
We had thought through all. We had already thought through all.
Wait a minute, but what part of last week did you hear? When I said that I was selfish, did we not say that women are selfish? Yeah. We were selfish.
But it's okay though, right?
Yeah. No, it's not okay. It is not okay. It is not.
But it's okay.
It depends. It depends. We're emotionally selfish.
It's not
we
okay.
want more emotion. We want you to understand more. We're emotionally selfish, I think, because we're more emotional.
So when I'm sitting here just stone faced like,
oh well, yeah.
I was just
That's
heard
why
the
we
extra
keep saying
conversation
say
behind
something.
It was related.
Hey, y'all made the man up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all made the man up. So I mean, like I said, Rick,
Yeah.
He's
out there. He's out there.
Don't even try to figure out what's going on today.
Anyway.
Pretty Ricky
But
just come in the house
but
and
you know what?
walk out, don't ask no
But
questions
here's
or
the thing.
nothing.
Here's the thing. Wait a minute though. Here's the thing. If I'm being honest and I'm self-reflecting, I didn't even give him the option.
Right.
I
Because you
said,
had already made it up in your mind.
I
once you
said-
thought you was leaving.
I'm leaving.
Right.
Can't talk about
So at what
Nope,
point,
nope.
did you
It's
know you
over.
checked out? Because I know we as women will check out. Our men's check out. before our bodies check out.
Listen,
At
to
what
be-
point
Yeah.
did you know you
If
checked
I'm
out?
being honest, I checked out of my marriage years before we separated and divorced. We were basically living as roommates.
Yep, I did the same thing.
Yeah, we were roommates. I can't even tell you when the last time was we had sex. And it had been years. We were basically living as roommates. And everybody thought we were like what Daphne had said about her parents. Nobody ever saw us fight and argue. Like if you saw us out in public, perfect couple. Perfect couple. You wouldn't have thought not a thing was wrong. And so when I announced that we were getting divorced and we were separated, people were shocked. They were like, what? What? I didn't see this coming, because out in public, they saw the good friendship that we had developed.
So did something happen that make you say, okay, I can't do this anymore? What made you really just kind
What
of
was the
check out?
defining moment?
Yeah.
And I have said this before, and because this is about self-reflection, I'm gonna answer this question honestly. I left my family more so than I left my husband. I had a lot of things that were going on in my life and a lot of weight on my shoulders that was turning me into a bitter, resentful person. And I saw that. I had to self-reflect, and I saw that. And I saw the road that I was heading down, and I had to remove myself from that situation. And it didn't matter at that time. It didn't matter to me anything else. The only thing that mattered to me was getting my sanity back, getting Karen back, and removing myself from the situation that I was in.
So taking it a step further, what Felix asked was, so then how did you go back to a friendship? To
Well,
where you could be
but see, even when I left, we were friends. Like there was no animosity amongst, because one of the things that I said to him, and again, this is about self-reflection. I knew going in that he loved me more than I loved him. I knew that from the jump. And one of the things that I said to him when I left was that I apologized to him that I could not love him the way that he loved me. And I didn't want him to take that feeling, because the way I left, I'm sure he felt like damn.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to be sure that he didn't take any bitterness or any resentment from our relationship into his next one, and let him know, like, I'm not saying he definitely wasn't perfect. He had his issues, but overall, he's a good man.
Mm-hmm.
He was a damn good man. And he gonna make, he is remarried. He's making somebody now another damn good husband. But he just wasn't the one for me.
Yeah.
And he deserved, and I told him he deserved to be loved the way he wanted to love. That's hard to say.
But how long was y'all married? I mean,
23 years.
But if the whole 23 years, was you feeling that way? You didn't get closer to love him more? As
in my mind, when we married, and y'all know how this got on me, but
We're invested.
Y'all invested. Because in my mind, when I loved him, and in my mind when we got married, I thought we were gonna have time to grow together. And what happened, we didn't get that time. Like within the first year, or after the first year of marriage, we ended up with a ready-made family, taking on people. Like after my first year of marriage, I had 2 kids that I was raising. Things changed. And so we took on roles and we grew separate ways. Is what happened.
Yeah. So basically, the chapter was over. You just knew that this time we're done. Our time.
Yeah. It was time, and because I felt like we both were staying for the kids. And the baby girl had just left to go to college, and now I was like, you know what? We both deserve to be happy. I definitely deserve to be happy. And I was tired of all of the things that I felt like were a burden to me. Now, I can say in my journey of self-reflection, and then we're going to get off of me, but in my journey of self-reflection, I can be honest and say that a lot of things that I was frustrated about that was happening, I brought on myself. Because I was that type that nobody could do it the way that Karen could do it. And why let anybody else do it? And I know they ain't gonna do it right, so I might as well do it myself. And so I took on a lot, not because I had to, but because I felt like ain't nobody else gonna do it. And if I don't do it, then this is gonna happen. And so I'm a what if type person. If I don't do this, then this is gonna happen, and that's gonna happen, and then this is gonna fall in my lap, and I ain't got time to deal with that. And so then I would, like we were talking about, I would do stuff and then be upset that they weren't appreciated of the fact of what I just did for you. But they didn't ask me to do it. And so I became very bitter and resentful from the fact that I felt like I was not appreciated. But a lot of the things that I was doing and wanting appreciation for, they didn't necessarily ask me to do. I did it because I wanted to be in control, and I felt like nobody could do it but me.
Just like a woman.
Eric, you about to get cool. You made me so. I had to catch myself. I almost said something. Right. Wait a minute. Brenda says here, KO, that is exactly my life. Exact. It was my husband who left our marriage, and I left after 25 years ended when he got killed. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a high school sweetheart. Yeah, I mean, I married at 19. I married young. I was 19, he was 22. We married young. And just think
He said, you know what? We're gonna cut.
There we go. Can y'all hear me now? Are we back up? This is my brother on there listening as we talking about. We back up now. I'm talking about his ass. He on there listening. Okay, thank y'all. Sorry about. Listen, we went out here eating and drinking and enjoying ourselves on the patio. I forgot to switch to my other. You got to start reminding me of that.
I
Rick.
will. My bad. I forgot.
Do what? Girl, don't nobody care. This is my patio. We do what we want to on my patio. Shit. We vibing on this patio. But go ahead. Please ask Stan a question. Y'all get off of me.
So, Sam, my
go
question to you is, what is the whole basis of keeping it moving when you decided to write your book and put everything together and reflect over your life? What was the whole basis of it for you to say, okay, keep it moving on the way? What's the whole basis?
Keep it moving through any challenges, downfalls, hardships in life. Staying inspired and motivated through those times, because what I've learned about life is it's gonna happen. Those times are gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
We never stop growing. We get those time periods where everything's cool, we ride, it's kosher, and then you're gonna have those bumps. And then when you have multiple people in your life, you got family, you got kids, you got mate,
Yes.
What I've learned is at different points is something with somebody at all times, so just self-awareness is very important, because I feel like the more self-aware you are, the more you can kind of manage yourself through all of these different things. There's going to be challenges in relationships. There's going to be downfalls in life, period.
Absolutely.
There's going to be challenges on your job, like all of these different things we manage and deal with. I just want people to become more self-aware, number one, of who they are, because it makes it so much easier within communication and just flowing through life. You can kind of move around a lot better when you're able to say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I know. This is what I like.
Yes.
I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Let's dig deeper into it. Let's pull back out of it. I mean,
Yes.
whatever it may be. I think overall it's self-awareness. And then we have to learn how to stay positive no matter what. Like some people call it optimistic, whatever you want to call it, however you want to look at it. All I know is it works.
Staying positive. Absolutely.
Because the rain is going to come. But if you don't learn how to dance in the rain, then you're going to always be resistant and fighting up against something when it really doesn't even have to be there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Melissa had a question for you, saying, she said, did it take you long to write the book?
It took 8 years for me to write. I had the vision a long time ago, but once I actually took the time to write, it took about 1.5 years.
Okay.
I gave myself a deadline just because I'm just like an entrepreneur, like business deadline kind of person, but really I didn't stick to it. You learn in writing, there's different things that inspire you. For me, most of the time when I travel, that's when I'm inspired to write. Because I can step away and pull back from everything I have going on. And then that's when I get all of these downloads. And that's when I have to write. So, like writers, you can hear so many different ways from authors and writers. It's really no format to it, You just got to write. That's what I tell people. I had somebody tell me that. My old barber, Tristan Buckner, inspired. Tristan? Yes. So he was my barber at one point, and during the time I was going to him to get my hair cut, he had just finished writing a book, and I remember him saying to me, because I'm like, well, what about this, and then what do you do about this? And I'm like, Tristan, I'm not an English major, I'm not a scholar, like. He's like saying, just write.
People don't care.
They then that's what editors are for. That's what editors are for. So I want to encourage people. If you got it in you, write.
I got a question for myself. How do you keep from being called selfish when you're saying, or get to yourself, and once you get to yourself, then you can whatever. How do you not or people perceive you as selfish. Because I get that all the time. Because I know myself better than anybody.
Because you know yourself well.
Very well.
And you've had a lot of feedback. People think you're selfish because you know yourself well.
Yeah.
Is it sometimes the way you're communicating it or delivering it?
Yes, my delivery is terrible.
Oh.
So therefore, you know why people call you selfish.
But I'm not. I am not.
I guess my advice with that is, you gotta, even though you're self-aware, you still have to meet people where they are. Just because you're letting them know, okay, I understand where you are, doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily want to be involved with what you got going on. But you just have to be like, okay, I see where you are. It's cool, but
here's the question. Do you care that people think you're selfish?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because once they get with me, it's totally different. You see what I'm saying? Once you get with me, it's like, okay, I see where he's coming from now. Like, he's really real. He's really like what he is. He's bold. He'll say anything. But once you're with me, you're like, oh, I get it now. Everybody can't get that.
But here's the thing, because this is about self-reflection. So in order for you to understand why, you got to step outside yourself and look at yourself from their perspective.
Yeah. I do all the time.
Then what is it that you feel that they see that makes them think that you're selfish?
Like how you say I mean, I feel like they just the deliverer. I wouldn't
necessarily. We ain't finna put Eric on the couch, but I wouldn't necessarily say that the delivery would like. And I joke when I say you're mean, and I can see where your bluntness could be seen as mean, but not selfish. Yeah. Like, I don't perceive you like in the time that I've met you and I've known you, I don't perceive you as selfish. And so those people that are saying that you're selfish, you're going to have to kind of take a step back and say, now, are these women or people that you've been in a relationship with, the ladies feel like you selfish. Yep. That's probably just something they want that you ain't doing, that you said that you weren't going to do. And now they say you're selfish because you won't do it. That's probably what that is.
But that's cool.
But you just kind of have
cool that you would just let them know off the top, though.
I do.
You ain't acting like you don't do it.
I don't act. That's what I say to men a lot of times. And I really be honest. I be like, look, you're going to lose if you tell the truth. You're going to lose. Because you have to lie. You have to lie. But see, not being honest, guess what this do? It helps y'all.
No, Sherry said on the couch next show with Eric. No, we are definitely not doing it on the couch with Eric show.
You had me for a second.
Yes.
I can break it down for real though.
Okay.
What I'm saying is,
you listen. Then my brother in there chiming in. I'm gonna call him out. He's talking about he get that. I get that too all day. Your ass is selfish. Yeah. He is five on comment. His ass is selfish all damn day long. Listen, me and my brother have that relationship where he will do. I can say my brother will do anything for me. Anything that I ask him to do, he will 100% do in a heartbeat. But can I sit here and honestly say my brother said, hell yeah, his ass is selfish, because I've seen it. He's selfish in female-male relationships. He's not selfish.
People.
He's not selfish when it comes to
who it is.
Yes, when it comes to me,
no. So maybe they just want you to just be in tune with your emotions a little bit more.
I mean, my question is then, at what point then do you consider I'm the common denominator?
Right.
So if I've dated 4 or 5 people, and 4 or 5 people have all called me selfish,
common denominator is you.
At one point, do you go inward?
Yeah.
Oh no.
When is that?
No. He just said, hey, that's their problem. It ain't his.
But you just call us selfish though.
But here's the thing. And see, here's the thing about self-reflection. Once you identify it,
right,
and you choose not to do anything about it, then you can't complain. You can't complain about people saying you selfish when you know for a fact why they view you that way.
You gotta just
certain
ride
people
with
like
it.
do treat me that way, and I'll accept that.
Because
not
if you,
everybody,
but
though.
here's the thing: if you're aware of it, then that means. But here's the thing. Here's the thing: when you are aware of it, then you are intentionally
Doing it.
Right.
showing them your selfish side.
Yeah.
It's intentional in your actions if you are aware of why they see you as being selfish. And you say, I don't give a damn, I'm still do it anyway. I know you might feel I'm selfish about it, but I don't give a fuck. You can't complain and say, why do people see me as selfish?
I might be selfish to you, but I might not be selfish to her.
What are you doing?
Oh, you pick and choose with yourself.
Exactly.
But again, that's what I'm saying. You can't complain about it. You can't complain. You can't say I don't understand why people see you as selfish.
That's very intentional.
I'm serious.
That's very intentional.
Listen, I don't even think it would take way more than an hour to have a conversation with Eric's crazy ass. Because listen, you never know what's gonna come out of Eric's
She's
mouth.
right. I'm scared of myself. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
never
don't
know,
what I'm
and I have to be prepared because I don't know what Eric might say.
You gotta be
Like,
I'm
but we
okay.
had. I'm sorry. Let me go back up because we had a question to Stan about the book.
Okay.
So, what was your inspiration?
Oh man. I'm gonna say my inspiration is inspiration. Like I figured out that that's a big part of my purpose.
Is to inspire.
Is to inspire.
Okay.
Yep. So one of my favorite books is by Wayne Dyer, Living a Life of Inspiration. I picked up that book randomly, like at a Goodwill store or something, because I like to just do that. You can get books for like $1, $1.50, $2.
Yes.
This was before I even knew who he was. I didn't even know he was as big as an author as he was. But I read it in there, and he just kind of broke it down because that was a big part of who he was, and I just could relate to it. So that's why I think reading is so important, because you hear, it's not that everybody's trying to be right, or it's just you hear so many different perspectives and so many avenues and ways that people break down, just relating to different things like you do, hear, and see. All of that, I love it. I love Eric.
I like all that. I love Eric. Yes, I absolutely love it.
And I'm open to that. I can relate to that. I feel like that's me. So I guess just staying true to me, like and then like I said before, just I feel like I beat the odds. Being a teenage mom and starting my business at such a young, tender age.
Not able.
One of my most concerns was becoming a stick.
Yes.
I had to deal with that backlash from like area of life that I to church and you go to school and you look nice and you do this and grandma washes and irons all the clothes and everything's neat and clean, So, man, just finding yourself through all of the things that you're born into, don't have any control over. Then the decisions that you make, get you into all these different things. It's just so important for us to teach each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we dropped again. We back. I gotta listen or that shoulder for that person who's what they go. Yeah, and you know what? I love that you said that you felt like that you were tell her to quit bothering you. You in the middle of it.
We're trying to sell some books over here. Oh, okay.
Sorry about that, y'all. But yes, I love that you said that, you know, you felt like your purpose was to inspire.
Yeah.
And it made me think about, I had this guy ask me this question one time. And he said to me, he said, who inspires you? And I said, me.
Yep. That's me.
And he said, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, who do you look to? Who inspires you?
Me.
And I said, me. And he was like, you know, I'm talking about like, you know, you like Maya Angelou, you know, all those. He started naming it, and I was like, I get what you're saying, but what I'm telling you is that if I can't inspire myself, then I can't expect anybody else to inspire me. So therefore, I look to myself for inspiration. Not that I don't find it in other people, but that first level of inspiration has to come from me, because you can't make me do it. Can't nobody else make me do it. I have to want to do it, and I have to inspire myself to do it. So I love that you feel like, you know, that's your path. That's what you're meant to do, is to inspire, because I feel like I was meant to do this show. Like I was meant to share my stories and talk about self-reflection and help people through growth. And when people, like, I love when I hear, you know, get the feedback and people's like, I love your show. Like it made me take a step back and look at myself. It made me look at things from a different perspective and a different point of view. I love that. Yeah. That makes me want to come back on here the next, you know, the next time and do another show, because people are getting something out of it. It's not like I'm just on here for an hour talking to myself, but people are listening. And it's not about, like you said, it's not about right or wrong. It's not about this person's right and that person's wrong. It's about being open to different perspectives. Because my perspective may see it as right, your perspective see it as wrong, but can I understand why you see it as wrong is what it's all about. And can I be like, ooh, okay, I can see that point of view.
But your honesty though, like honesty is the biggest thing that draws out, I think, anybody. Because you think like a man.
She knows.
You think like a man. And I tell you that. And I'm like, see, but when I say it, if I say it, it's like, you bashing. But when you say it, it's like, how do you think about that?
And she's very raw and unfiltered about it.
Well, I try to, but you know what? I try to give it to the ladies in a different perspective, especially when it comes from the male point of view, because a lot of women, we don't always see it. We don't see what y'all are trying to say. And like we talked about earlier, women, we all emotional. What we want to see is your emotions out of you. And we're not paying any attention. Right. And when you're not giving us back that emotion, we're like, oh, you don't care.
Look at Rick now. Look at his face.
You're looking at me like you don't care.
He was like, I give y'all devotion, but y'all want emotion. And it's like, yeah, we do. We thank you for the devotion, but we need that emotion.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So, and that's why I try my best. I know, Rick. I try my best to let the ladies understand that you're not gonna always get that from the gentleman. And so you have to look for
a little bit more than what you might want to, but not all the time, but just a little bit more than
just what you might want. Just when it's weird, just yeah. That's emotional. I had to get that emotional on much.
But you know what? But see, here's the thing.
Appreciate that. If that's what it comes out.
Here's the thing, though, ladies. Here's the thing that we have got to stop doing is expecting ourselves out of other people.
Out of other people, period.
Stop expecting yourself. So if he is not the emotional type, you can't make him be emotional. What you have to do is learn his signs of when he is, because every man has that sign of when he really is being emotional, and be like, because my friend, I'd be like, oh, he emotional right now. He probably die if he know I said that. But yeah, I know when he's being emotional, when he's in his feelings, and be like, oh, he in his feelings right now. I don't say nothing. I just be like, he in his feelings. I'm gonna leave it alone.
That's okay. Men have to stop using that. It's that time of the month excuse. Like we as women would be like, oh, I don't feel like being bothered. I'm in the mood because it's that time of the month. The excuse that men use is we have to go out here and deal with stuff in the world all the time. And we got to come home and we got to hang out. That's such an excuse a lot of times.
Yeah.
For them not to.
Go. Wait a minute, y'all. We gotta let Pretty Ricky speak. Go ahead, Pretty Ricky.
On your side.
Yeah.
What you about to say?
Go ahead, Pretty Ricky.
If I come home and I've been working hard all day.
There he goes. There he goes.
Exactly.
Listen, I ain't mad at him. Go on and say it. Go on and say it.
I come home, I don't want to hit it. I ain't even put my bag down yet, and I gotta hear all this. In my no, I don't want to hear that.
I'm not saying as soon as you get home to hear that. I get that. But at the same time, there's always the fence that's being used when a woman be like, hey, you know what? How was your day? Come on, let's sit down and eat. Whatever, and then be like, "Hey, can I talk to you about something?"
No, you can't. Carolyn, you remember? I said on the show. Do you remember what I said on the show? I said most of the time men don't give a damn about your day. We don't care about your day.
That's not cool though.
When my brother said he glad he in the house.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
I keep using that.
Okay, listen. Hold up.
You still have an obligation to her, just like you will want for others.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Just like we have to be like, oh, okay, well, he in his feelings. Let me bag on off. You should have your days where you like, oh, okay, she's in her feelings, but I know she gonna want me to talk about it. Let me go and just talk to her for a second.
And then when I
Instead
look
of
like
just
yeah. Look at that look.
Why you gotta look like it all the time?
Because you're forcing him to do something he doesn't want to do.
Like she said,
well, we don't always want to just be like, well, I know I can't talk to him today because he don't want to hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all.
You come in fired up. I already know.
Listen, y'all. Listen. Here's the thing.
Like too much.
I can see Rick's perspective on this. And I'm going to tell y'all why I can see the male perspective. And I don't want to jump all the way back to me again and get on that again. But I'm going to tell y'all why I see the male perspective. I used to have what we call the Kool-Aid house. Y'all know back in the day, the Kool-Aid house. Everybody always at your motherfucking house.
Yeah.
Always. And every time I would come home, I'd have a house full of people. And I'd come through that door like I get sick and fucking tired of every day when I come home and it's a bunch of mess. And I got somewhere I'd go find other things to do just so I wouldn't have to come home, and I would wait to all them people, because my mama used to keep kids. She keep, a few little kids, and then they come pick up their kids, and because it was family, then they all posted up in the kitchen, everybody talking, chit-chatting, and I come home from work. All I want to do is some peace and quiet. I want to come home, kick my shoes off, have me a beer, and just whew.
That's that dude.
Yes. That's the dude in me. So I understand. And so to come through the door and be bombarded with everything that's going on used to just irritate the fuck out of me. So I get it. But here's the thing. Just because that's how I felt doesn't mean that it was always right. Because I would take that anger, especially when I come home, people getting on my motherfucking nerves and somebody want to talk to me, and I would, remember I say I go 0 to 100. Ain't no in between. And then I came home now mad because I come home and I got a house full of people. Then somebody say the simplest little thing to me. Mm-hmm. And I snap.
I did that stuff. But let me ask you I'm not saying address it as soon as you get home.
It's okay. I'm seeing that, but here's the thing. Let me finish, and I'm gonna give y'all the male perspective, ladies.
Okay.
I'm trying to share with y'all because y'all don't want to hear what Popo Little Pretty Ricky.
I have a question for Ricky.
So I'm trying to give y'all that.
She got a question for Ricky.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So,
And we way over an hour
like
again.
Gail said, she agreed with you because you don't want to hear all that when you come through the door. You just can't. But when she also said, "Hey, come in, let's eat dinner." Blah, blah,
She
blah.
said after y'all wind down for the night. That's how she was saying.
Hey, can we talk? You said hell no.
Right.
Hey,
So which one?
But
Can
you
you
plan for 2 days a week to talk?
Wait a minute. But ladies, hold on.
So how we know when he's ready?
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay, now I want to talk.
Trust me.
Wait a minute. Can I finish where I was going with it? Let me finish where I'm going with it.
Go ahead.
Because see, here's what happens. Here's what happens, ladies. This ain't an overnight thing. So partially it's the man's fault because the man don't speak up. Men don't always speak up when they should. And because the first question I always ask a man when he complains about it, all she want to do is talk and she want to complain. And my first question is, was she doing that when you met her? Was she talkative and always wanted to share her day and talk about what was going on with her and all of that when you first met her?
We gotta listen.
And when you first met her,
Why you just
did you listen to her? Now, let me finish. When you first met her,
It was a
and it was okay, and you listened.
I knew the answer.
Let me finish, because this is a pivotal point. Okay, this is a pivotal point. If she was talkative and inquisitive when you met her, and you didn't have a problem with it then, you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what has changed that it is now an issue? Because if it was okay in the beginning, we know Pam got to go on the couch. We're not gonna put Pam on the couch right now. But if it wasn't an issue in the beginning, then you have to ask yourself what has changed that it is an issue now. And so therefore, that's when communication comes in. But here's the problem on the ladies' side. Because the minute that he tries to express to you that his issue is you, y'all get defensive and it becomes an argument. And so therefore he can't get it out because you already ready to go. Because the minute he say, can I get a break when I come through the door? What you need a break for now? You didn't, and we get emotional. You just did it.
And we ain't even together.
No, I just said, if we, and sister over there heard me, if I said, when you come in the house, I'm not going to come right at you. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna see how your day is. I'm gonna make sure that we calm, especially if it's an issue that needs to be addressed, and we keep sweeping it under the rug.
After you
If it's an
shower
elephant in the room, I'm gonna make sure you good, and I'm gonna make sure
you gonna make sure I'm real good.
I'm gonna make sure
Now, if we gonna do this, hey.
and we're gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna say, hey,
And see, and then he.
I'm gonna check his energy first. I'm gonna check his energy, and I'm going to assess to see if he's in the mood for talking, because I don't want to argue. I am not gonna argue. But if I see that he's not in the mood, I'll be like, hey, I see you're not in the mood, but we do need to talk about this soon.
See, you see how you came to me then? That was cool.
But that's how she was trying to say it first.
Yeah, but she didn't get it.
Wait. Y'all not gonna wait a minute. Listen, y'all gonna get up off of Pretty Ricky over here now.
That's how she first came out and said. Everybody got emotional.
Hold on. Now, wait a minute. I'm trying, Rick. Listen. Okay, y'all. Wait a minute. We are waiting.
Yes, you did. Because when she said
She's talking about make sure we eat dinner, everything cool. That's what she said at first.
You know what that means?
I want to talk.
Listen, you know what that
but
means?
Pretty Ricky just
That
went
means
just
you-
like, oh no.
But here you go. Again, y'all want me to get wait a minute.
I know.
Y'all want me to give you the male perspective?
No,
on
we
that?
don't. Not today. Tomorrow.
I'm gonna tell y'all what the men think when y'all do that.
Well, I feel like you haven't been equally on both sides.
Oh no, I feel it because I've done all the stuff that I complained about, all the things that y'all talk about. It took me years of self-reflection, and I'm gonna tell you what goes through the male psyche when we do that. Y'all know what they think about when y'all doing that?
We bitching.
What she want now?
Yeah.
It's too good. I come through the house. She got everything okay. She won't know how my day is. She talking something.
But if you do that every day,
some coming.
Yeah,
if you
she
do
got
that
on
every
a
day,
police
some
jogging
coming.
suit, so you know.
Because
she's ready to fight.
right, because here's the thing though. You have to think about this. You can't take it out of context. You have to think about if you get to this point, there's a communication issue within the relationship that has been going on for years.
Yeah, that's what it is at
Yes.
the end of the day.
So it's not just a simple, oh, he's not listening to me, she's not listening.
Yeah.
This is something that has built up
Yeah.
over time.
Right.
Because just like with him, when it was fine when you first met, same thing with the ladies. We tolerated stuff when we first met him. Everything was cool. Oh, that's all right. I can deal with that. Oh, I ain't gonna worry about it. And then later on in the relationship, now it's an issue.
It's a problem.
That's why I'm a true believer in it. I see something, the minute I see something I'm not finna deal with from jump, we gonna have a conversation about it.
I guess for me, on a more progressive woman type side, the first thing I thought on your comment was, oh, man says, oh, I don't want to hear all that when I first come in from a hard day. I had a hard day too. Like we both had hard days. We both worked.
Well,
but it's not.
Person working
Don't say
harder than
that.
the
But
other.
it's not about a competition.
Wait. But what's important to you
sound like him over here.
doesn't mean it's not important to me.
Oh no,
That is
So if you come in, you the same way you don't want to hear it is the same way in a different sense. I don't want to see it. So who's to say that when I decide to address an issue, it's not on the right time according to you, right? But the same way you don't want to hear it, it's not on the right time according to you. So
But
it's
again,
no one bigger than the other. It's just let's find that happy medium
delivery.
somewhere.
Self-awareness is
Be
very
quiet.
important.
Both
Self-awareness is very important.
Nobody
And you
talk.
have to
But
communicate.
here's-
Like you
but
said
here's-
right off the top.
But here's the thing.
You said
But
about
here's
you
the
gotta
Silence
address it right
tells
off
it
the
You
all.
top.
got to address it all the time. But here's the thing. Because and again, this is okay.
It's a whole bunch of y'all.
So here's the thing.
I don't know.
If you are already wait a minute, y'all, listen, because this is about self-reflection.
Yeah.
If you are already deep into that relationship and there is a communication problem, it is not a simple answer. It is not a simple, oh, you do this and you do that. Communication is key.
important.
And you have to
Right off the
figure
bat.
out how to communicate to that person. And everybody doesn't communicate the same way.
Yeah.
And so you have to make sure that you're not getting frustrated
Right.
if that person is not
That's
understanding
What
the way you're communicating.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how to communicate on that person's level.
Right.
That's the important.
Yeah.
But at the very beginning, when you first meet somebody,
Yeah.
this is to keep you from
And
getting there.
and both sides are guilty of that, men
Yes.
and women.
That's why
So
I said
we
they
both
put up
have
with
to
it.
do better with that.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
right off the top.
I'm good at the
Quit
right.
Yeah.
like being all snitting and
No.
Yes.
I'm
you just
good.
pissed me off, but I'm gonna smile pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
you just pissed me
Yes.
off. I don't like that.
Yes. Let me explain to you why I did
Let
not
me tell
like
you why I didn't appreciate
Yes.
that. And
Because-
then vice versa. He do the same thing, like, oh, you cute and all, but I ain't like it.
Yes, I'm not gonna deal with
you
that.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then why? What made you?
But see,
uncomfortable?
men have this bad habit of y'all think that the mouth and the attitude in the beginning is cute, and you be like, oh, that's that's a something to tackle, something to you know.
Like some of
that ain't
y'all like that. Y'all like
that
them
ain't
crazy.
it, but
You,
I don't like
you
it.
said you like them crazy girls
like-
on one show.
Yeah, I don't. But they gone quick.
Okay, that's just
Yeah.
fun.
But
it's gone.
I get it.
But you can't let her come in or him come in doing things that you know
Exactly.
That's real.
that you don't like and that you're not gonna tolerate. Because I'm the type, 3 strikes.
Yeah.
First time you do it, we're gonna have a conversation. And we're gonna have a conversation about what it is that you did and how I didn't like it. We're gonna come to an agreement, and I'm always willing to compromise.
That's good.
We're gonna come to an
Yeah.
agreement on how the situation is gonna be handled. The second time it happens, I'm gonna remind you of the conversation that we had and our agreement that we came to. This was our compromise. Now, do we need to revisit this compromise? Because this is what we talked about.
Oh, that's good.
The third time it happened, ain't no conversation. I'm out because I'm not finna deal with it. I'm not finna. We've had the conversation, and obviously, you're not choosing to make that compromise or to make that change. And if I'm not worth you making that change over something that you know that irritates me and that bothers me, then I ain't the one for you. And we finna move on. We're gonna keep it moving. But if you get into the relationship and you ignore those things, that's how you get to that. I don't want to hear the conversation. I don't want to talk about it. Because you've let things fester and go on for so long.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not in a relationship. Because I tell everything.
stand you over there.
No, I mean I tell everything.
Because now I need to
No,
understand.
Listen.
I'm gonna give you all the bad. I'm gonna give you everything. I'm gonna give you all the bad because that's what you're gonna get if you're dealing with me. Everybody's scared to get them there. I'm gonna give you my bad, even though I run you away. Yeah, sound good, but it don't work.
I appreciate
But
that.
but you know what? But you know what happens sometimes is people will
Mine is
listen to
crazy.
your blunt
I appreciate
honesty
experience.
But I tell
and they
my-
think that they can change that. I hear what he's saying. He think he is. I can change that.
I take that though. I take to try to change
For a
because they
little
ain't
while.
them, but I want you to try. You know,
You
what I
like
mean?
that challenge.
I love to
Yeah.
try. Yeah,
Right.
try, please.
See, and that's what leads to miscommunication.
No, I'm gonna communicate
argument.
the whole time I told you this. Well, keep on.
That's why you selfish. Then you just wonder why they think you selfish.
I'm being honest though.
Because one, if you go into a relationship knowing that woman is trying to change you and you accepting that she's trying to change you and
It
then
ain't
say,
gonna
no,
get
I ain't
to
gonna do
It
it.
won't even get to the relationship part like that.
Eric,
It
are you
won't get
listening to
that
me?
deep.
This is why they say you're
I
selfish.
heard what you said.
You can't go in being agreeable to
I'm
what
not a-
she wants to do
This is what I'm
and
telling
then say, no, I ain't doing that.
you. No,
You can try all day long, but I ain't gonna do
I'm telling you everything. If you want to
it.
believe
Yeah, we
what
are
you
well
wanna
over an
believe,
hour. We just
it's
talk
on you.
I already do it. It's an anniversary show.
It
Sure
is.
is.
Last week, Tara was like, you need to go 2 hours anyway. I was like, girl, I don't know about doing 2 hours. But Eric, your ass is selfish.
Hold on.
You selfish. You can't go in allowing her to do shit, knowing
No,
full well,
but
knowing that you ain't
If
finna.
I tell you I can't stop you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
well, you-
But you
So-
continue,
wait.
but you continue the relationship.
To
No, wait,
Karen's
hold on.
point, to Karen's point on self-reflection,
Mhm.
if you're reflecting on yourself
Mhm.
and you're telling somebody that, and you're reflecting on yourself that they're not listening to what you're saying, why still be there?
Exactly.
That was going to be
You know
my
why?
question.
Okay,
Because I'm
because
getting
you
what I
can
want.
choose to leave.
Because us when the selfish part, I'm getting what I want.
That's why people now.
Thank you.
Okay, so
So
now you
again,
understand.
you're
So
right.
you can't sit here and say
You can't fix the problem.
Right.
Admit it.
Right. Come on. You can't even sit here and say that you don't know why people see you as selfish. You just sat there and said,
Look at what happens on the anniversary show.
right. Look at her, got his arms crossed like a little kid. What you mad because it came out?
You said it out loud though.
I mean, I'm always like that though.
You do.
I know this stuff.
That
I mean,
wasn't a vulnerable moment.
No.
We shouldn't have took that as a vulnerable
Oh,
moment.
hell no.
Oh damn.
No,
He got you excited for a minute, didn't he? That Eric is a fool. I love you, Eric, because you are so raw.
Eric is saying
so
you know what you get up front.
You
Like,
know what you get.
That's what he's saying.
Give it up, ladies. You know
That's
what you get.
saying. But
This
that's
is
cool.
it.
I can give
This
with
is
that.
it.
I can give with that.
This is it.
I'm gonna give you
Okay,
that
woo,
choice.
wait a minute. Somebody,
That's
Shay
what's
came
up.
in. We got a book here. Let's see. Shay said men and women need to stop making excuses for behaviors based off situations. Agreed.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, address it at a non-confrontational way.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because once it's overlooked a couple of times, it
Yeah.
becomes acceptable behavior, and they'll continue because they
Yeah.
initially
We would do
allowed
that.
it.
That's what the
Absolutely.
But Shay should
yeah,
have
that
came
you
with
can't be
that's one of the
mad.
big-
You can't be
Absolutely.
mad after that, but then at the same time, that's the dysfunction.
That's
Yeah.
where
Yes.
it goes from mistake.
Yes.
You know what I'm
pattern.
saying?
Yes.
Exactly.
So that's
Yes.
where that self-awareness
Yes.
comes into play.
Yes. Because one of
it
my
can't be dysfunction no more after I'm self-aware and I know, you know what, I'm
Right.
not messing with that. I'm
Yes.
not messing with that.
Exactly.
Once you become self-aware,
Right.
once you become
Self-aware.
self-aware,
Yeah.
Mistake to pattern.
yes.
leave it alone.
Once
Yeah.
you become self-aware,
Good job, E.
that is the main thing.
Hey, you know what? You just don't know. I'm the biggest. I'm serious. I know my faults. I'll tell you my faults. I'm gonna give you. I'm telling you. When you playing cards, this is me. I'm putting my cards on the table. Read them. That's me right there.
That's what's up.
But see, what y'all don't get is most men can't do that. They gotta do this. They gotta play one card because
I agree with that
they
too.
trying to get something.
Yeah.
They're trying to get
Absolutely.
somewhere. I ain't
But
saying-
but you know what? Women
Yeah.
do that too.
I don't got nothing.
Women do that too.
It's not
just men.
I'm gonna run the risk and just risk it
Women-
all.
women
I
do that
feel
too.
you
I
on
want
that.
somebody to want me
And
for
I
me.
love, but that doesn't. You don't waste time. You
No.
don't waste time.
No
either.
time.
So I get that.
Everybody has their
You
representative.
wouldn't mess with anybody
I
who
don't.
wouldn't put
That's
on
the
their
only
cards.
thing.
A lot of people have representatives.
Say it one more
I said that's
time.
why you wouldn't mess with somebody who wouldn't put their cards on the table.
Like you, yeah.
So why?
So
why
have you
would
had that experience yet?
Why would you
Like,
put your cards on
so
the table? and keep messing?
somebody, a woman that's like, hey, boom, my car's on the table, and then what did that?
Men
do
are
for you?
men are different. He
I mean,
said he
Did
does
that
it because he
intrigue
get what he
you, or
wants.
did it turn you off because it was
Thank
just
you.
like you?
He was looking in the
I
mirror.
loved it
You loved it.
because that's me. You care for me. That you could take all this. You see all that.
So then why it didn't work?
Because it's me. It's all
It
about.
sounds like it's a sex.
It's like I said. The selfishness comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Because
selfishness.
okay, here's the difference. Here's the difference.
I like to be
And
in
this is
control.
just my perspective on it. Here's the difference. I'm that type. I am who I am.
She can't perform for it. She can't do it for a long time.
Who?
She can-
What? Right.
That's
He's
right.
right. So why would
He's
you
right.
success that
He's
the
right.
card you put all your cards on the table and you said you was with somebody else who put their cards on the table, so then why didn't that work? Since that's what you needed, and your response was
That she can't conform to it. She can accept it for a little bit of time,
That's
but
it.
she can't accept it for a long period of time. It's not a sex thing. It's not anything else.
She was never accepting of it in the first place.
Yeah.
She wanted to deal with it.
She thought she could change it.
Yeah,
She thought she could fix
Still
it.
thought she could change it. That wasn't just who she
And
was.
but here's the thing. Let me say this though.
Okay.
Women don't just, men do that as well.
Yep.
Is that it's not just something that women do. Men do that as well. Go into relationships thinking that they can change and they can change her into the woman that they want her to be.
Absolutely.
So both sexes are definitely guilty of that.
Everything.
But I will say this, Eric, and I'm the same way like you. And it's a different perspective when it's a woman who lays their cards on the table than it is for a man, because we're viewed different.
I gave you time, and you better. Look, let me calm down.
I
We're different because one, with the show, all my cards are on the table regardless, because I'm always blunt and honest on the show. And so dating actually is really a struggle, because if a man see the show, they be like, I ain't fucking with her. Like, I ain't messing with her. Like, damn.
I think with me, if I told my whole story,
You know, so you just gotta.
now I
ride
do
it out.
when I
It's
meet
not as
people, I say,
common,
look,
but
I
got this, and I let them know.
Okay, y'all, wait a minute. We get 2 minutes side conversation.
Oh, sorry.
And I do. I let them know, okay, look, I got issues. These are my issues. And I put it out there. And there are a lot of women that just ain't going for it. But then they think, oh, I probably can change it. No, you can't. I'm too old to be changed.
He is. But here's people, you're not too old.
Always
you
they
are
not
not
change it. They might just want to come in and see. Okay, let me see if I can deal.
With it.
Yeah.
But why would you want to deal with something that you know
Because
is
well, if they haven't figured
different.
it, they haven't figured it out for themselves.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
She said, why would you want to deal with it? That's the only reason why you want to deal with it if you haven't figured it out for yourself.
I don't know what I don't know. Maybe I do like coffee.
And
I never had coffee before.
Some things you be like, it's not that bad.
I'm not that type. I am not that type.
See, that's the
I am not that. Let me figure out. Let me see if
it's gonna want to see it.
not me.
I'm like you, Carol. You hit that shit. I ain't got no. I can't do all this.
Hit what?
It's not just. It's still a lot of men that do like.
I was like, what you hit just right. I'm just saying, because I don't care if the dick is good.
Men are very logical.
The dick can be amazing, but if his attitude is fucked up, he gets nothing.
100%.
Okay, we got 2 minutes
It's
side
just
conversation.
perception.
But
it comes down to
we got to get it. We've got to get out here, y'all. We're at an hour and 30 minutes.
Anniversary.
But we're gonna have to continue this, y'all. I don't even feel like we gave Sam's book a good justice. The conversation kept going everywhere.
That's all right.
But y'all know that's how we do it. That's how we do on this show. We go wherever the conversation takes us. Oh, wait a minute. Shay done wrote again. What does Shay say here? She said, when the other person expresses dissatisfaction towards certain behaviors, if they respect and care about you and the relationship, they'll make the necessary adjustments. If they don't make a note of that, then it's something that you're willing to compromise with. Quit wasting each other's time and figure out if it's a deal breaker or not.
Right, yeah.
I 100% agree with you.
I agree too.
It took up half the screen.
That's
I was like, damn, did she do that?
That's my sister. They're my sister.
I do agree with her.
Is she the one that said she wants to be an author or she's gonna write? She probably needs to
write. That was Melissa that was asking those questions.
Shay probably needs to write too.
I 100% agree with her. And that's what I'm saying. But here's the problem though. Here's the problem. How willing are people typically to take it when somebody expresses their dissatisfaction? And sometimes it ain't always about how it's presented, because they can come to you with it nicely and be like, okay, let me express to you how I'm feeling about this particular behavior or this particular situation. And people are quick to jump on the defensive as opposed to staying in the offense and listening.
I've had this just recently. So it wasn't easy. I mean, and they can't.
It's hard to listen for somebody to say something about
just
yourself.
As smooth as you can make it.
You just didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was my response. It just depends on where you are.
Because I used to be like
yourself
that.
and how you're gonna receive it. If you're gonna get defensive or if you're gonna be more receptive.
You might not be in the headspace.
It just depends on where.
Because I'm telling you, until when I started my journey of self-reflection, which was years and years ago, and I mean, as I progressed, I got deeper into it. But what really, and I say this all the time, what really brought it to light was I used to be that type, like, every job I had, everywhere I went, I had issues with people. I was always getting into it with somebody. And then to me, you know what it is? I was like, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care. I could care less what you think about me, how you feel about me. Oh, they wrong. That's not who I am. All of this. And I was working at the prison as a nurse. And I had a coworker say to me, she said, you know what, Karen? If everywhere you go, you have the same problem,
maybe you would
the common denominator is you.
Is you, Harry?
Is you,
I know.
And so,
at some point, it's not everybody else's problem.
And so you have to take, but you have to.
You had all brothers.
No, I got an older sister. I got a sister and a brother.
Are y'all just alike?
No, not at all. No.
She's the bougie one.
They say I'm bougie, but I'm not bougie.
She told her she been going against the grain. She was 9.
You see this lovely patio.
I'm not bougie. I just like nice shit. No.
I love it. You got your own mind.
But I have to say now, let me say this because this goes back to one of my earlier shows on forgiveness. And I said on that show that I had to self-reflect on that because my family used to tell me that all the time that I was bougie. I thought I was better than everybody else and all this kind of stuff. And I would be like, no, I don't. I don't even understand why y'all feel that way. But I had to take a step back and look at myself and be honest and say, I can see it. If I'm really being honest, I was making it
a point to say
because
that.
I can be. Let me tell you, I can be so condescending to people, and sometimes I don't even realize that I'm doing it. And people will say something to me, or somebody walk up, and I'll look at you like you the dirt underneath my feet, but I don't realize that I do it. And then when somebody say, girl, why you like like when Camilla said looking at who?
You said they didn't like you at work. Is that how you were looking at them?
Yes, girl. Yes. But listen, have y'all ever heard about the personality test, True Colors? If you ever worked at HCA, you've taken True Colors. Okay. My True Colors, like they have the different ones. If yellow people are, like family oriented. No, that's the blue people are family oriented. Those yellow people can't think outside the box. Right. Like they 1, 2, 3, yes, they like rules and regulations and they follow them to a T. The orange people are the life of the party, outgoing, always ready to do. And then the green people are that blunt, analytical, like most of the time people think that they're mean. So when I took that test, my green and my orange were damn near the same. Like there was only 1 point difference. Like my blue and yellow, like it gives you all. My blue and yellow was low, but my orange and green were almost tied. It was only 1 point difference between the orange and green. And I was more green. The green outweighed 1 point than the orange. So when I'm telling you that when I'm at work, I'm green all day long at work. Don't come to me with no nonsense. I don't want to hit. You ask me a stupid question, I'm gonna look at you like. And I used to wonder why people at work would, they'd be like, well, she's mean and she's this, and like, I'm like, I would be confused. And it wasn't until I took that test and then I could see other people's perspective, because if you were a blue and you were a yellow, now I understand how you see me and how I need to interact with you and how I need to communicate with you. That was a huge tool for me. Because like family wise, I like to be orange. I like to sit in my orange. I like to be the life of the party and have fun. But the minute you piss me off, I'm green. That's why I go 0 to 100.
So the best analogy that they did for that when I took that course was a bear in the forest. So if you're an orange and a bear comes up to you, all of y'all are oranges, okay? We're all camping, and a bear walks up to the camp, and you're an orange color. Everybody's like, okay, figure out what you want to do. Maybe you want to lay down and play, do in the fetal position. Somebody might run. Everybody's on their own plan. We're going to figure it out. If you're a green, we're going to come together and figure out what's the best strategy and analyze how we can get out of the situation alive. If you're blue, you're more emotional, like a tree hugger.
And you're like, oh, poor little bear.
So let's figure out, let's feed it and try to figure out. If you're a gold or a yellow,
they looking for the rule book.
Prepared yourself. You already have
what did it say?
Escape plan.
You said if a bear, that's
how we get out of the situation.
Yeah.
And that made it really clear on what color would you really be. So if a bear came up to your camp in the forest, what would you do? And your first instinct.
So my orange ain't gonna let me run toward him and play with him. My green gonna say no.
But it's every man for himself. The orange is every man for himself. Everybody love it.
Be like, and I'm gonna sit back like, damn, that bear got your ass.
Oh shoot! And
I got away. But that personality test really did. It really did open me up to how other people saw me and how I saw other people, and understanding that I can't be irritated at her because she's a gold and she wants the guidelines and she wants me to tell you step by step, and I'm like, oh my God, why do I got to tell you step by step? Because my green is on. Like, oh, you working my last nerve, girl. And don't let me be in training. And somebody ask a question, I'll be over there like, Lord Jesus. And she asked another damn question. And that's just how I am. But I had to learn to tame that. But what I realized about myself now, which is why management positions are not for me. I do not have the people skills for it.
Right.
Like, you put me out like education, public speaking, that's my niche. I'm orange in those all day long. But if you put me in management, because I'm looking at you like I don't understand why it's simple. But you here to do a job.
Yeah. That was your self-reflection, though, to come to that, right?
Yes, my self-reflection was, girl, you don't need to take any management position. That's not. And so, and I even say that to my manager now, with like, I do whatever you need me to do, but I like to stay in the background. Let Karen stay on in the background, behind the scenes. I support you all day long, but I do not want to be in the forefront.
I've been on my job 30 years, and this guy's been in front of me. They come above me. And all I do is laugh because they gotta do all the work. They gotta deal with all that because I've been there. I know what they gotta deal with, and I just laugh. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
why you still right there? You ain't doing it. No,
I don't want to.
Good, right?
I'm good.
I know where I'm at.
I'm good. I'm so good where I'm at. Y'all, we almost at 2 hours. We need to get out of here. We're at an hour and 40. Y'all, and we still got people on listening, though. We still got a lot of folks on. This has really been a great conversation. We have been all over the world, even though I feel like you ladies kind of attacked me because I was really like feeling out this way. I can't have
that ain't the woman side coming
out. No. Listen.
Yeah, no.
No, listen. I feel you ladies. I see where you coming from, been there, done that. I have been down that road. And it took me taking a step back because even now, like in my personal relationship with men, I have to take a step back because I be wanting to let that emotional side come out. And I'm going to tell you, here's the thing about me being emotional. Because of my green side, we like to be in control. When I get emotional, I feel like I'm not in control. That's what I don't like about getting emotional, because I feel like when I get emotional, it takes me out of character, and now I'm no longer in control. My emotions are in control of what's going on. So I try to maintain those, but I do get emotional. I have my emotional side, and I have definitely had that emotion. Like when I'm in love, I am that emotional woman. I am definitely that emotional woman when feelings get involved. But if I ain't got no feelings for you, it's like fuck you and the horse you rode in on. I ain't got time, and we go keep it moving. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, we gonna get off of here, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to Red Wine Conversations, y'all. Please make sure we got the book right here. Please make sure you go ahead and check out Fan. Order you a book.
Not to sing.
Not to
Sand, check it out.
Yes, please check it out.
Give me feedback. Follow me on social media. Visit my website, sandtheauthor.com. Flawless Concepts is the brand. San Lozano is the name. I'm on all social media. I'm trying to get myself together on TikTok.
Girl, I can't do that. I got a TikTok.
I
gotta get into TikTok.
I post every now and again, but I try to meet everybody where they're at. But please check me out, y'all. Feedback. I love open, honest feedback. Anytime, whether you email me or DM me, I'll receive it all. Just check me out.
Y'all, please check it out.
Let me share something. If anybody is looking to take their event to another level, I am the owner of a 360 photo booth.
Oh, you got a phone?
Yeah,
Okay.
those are fun.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that with somebody.
Yeah. So
Yes,
if
those are
y'all
fun.
wanna take y'all event, y'all party.
Yes, y'all please check out Pam.
I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok under Pose POSEN 360. So holla at me.
Okay.
Say that again.
Pose POSEN 360.
Pose. Oh,
Like
Pose 360. Oh.
Pose.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pose.
And then
I thought she was
I
saying
said
pose
pose.
at first.
No,
P-O-L, and I was like,
Pose,
but
like strike a pose.
No, I'm just striking on
Strike a pose.
Just striking on pose.
she said it's Pose. They didn't hear you, Pam. She has the 360 camera if you're interested. And it's Pose 360
Pose in.
Pose in POSN
And POSEN.
POSEN 360.
Yeah.
Michelle, can you did you
Is
pop
that what
that?
I put in there? Is that correct? Did y'all
POS, yes, she did.
that's
POSEN
correct.
360.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
She been on it, boy. She been over here posting for us. We have had so much. I thought she said pose too. Yeah, because I was like, "Ooh, what Pam doing now?"
I'll be doing that too.
Listen, you are see, she a pretty girl. She can do that. Pam is super cute.
And you called it a 360? I mean,
Yeah, she got the 360 photo booth.
Yeah.
Thank you. And listen, y'all, be looking for the pictures from the photo shoot. I'm gonna put them up here in a little bit. Well, maybe tomorrow. Because by the time we get off of here, I ain't gonna make no promises, honey, about what I'm gonna do tonight. It probably won't be no pictures coming up tonight. But yes, the 360 check out.
Like, I want to come to the class. They thought you were doing pole.
Listen, I did too. I did too, because I was about to say, damn,
Pose,
Put the phone in the middle.
Pam,
Because she did say if you want to take your event to another level.
Yes, that's why I thought she said pose.
No.
Because when you said another level, and I was like, oh. About to freeze up again. But this has been
Awesome.
a great show.
Happy
Thank you so
anniversary.
much.
This was awesome. This was awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. We're gonna get off of here, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I can't believe it's a year. I'm still in shock, y'all. I'm still in shock. Listen, we still live right now. We ain't shut down yet. Listen, okay. Everybody got a cup. Everybody got a cup. And we're gonna say happy 1 year anniversary to Red Wine Conversations. Everybody come on in here with the cup.
We can't say all that.
Yes, happy anniversary. Woo! Yes. Oh, I'm pleased you remembered your cup. All right, y'all. We're gonna get off of here. Let me end this. We've been